I would like to preface this video by saying that I in no way speak on behalf of the family of Andrew Brown Jr. and in no way represent them. This video. Hey y'all, hey, and welcome to Drawing Conclusions with me, Christina B. This is our very first episode, and I thank you so much for joining me. I started this YouTube channel in order to promote my art commission business of the same name, Drawing Conclusions. Now, my vision was to take my art along with my interest of true crime and combine the two. So I'm gonna come here every Friday and discuss with you guys a true crime story, a murder mystery, or unsolved disappearance, murder, what have you, while I paint for you guys a original masterpiece. So the first video that I had was supposed to be put out on April 30th, but in my editing of the video, tragedy struck, for lack of a better words. I found out that in my hometown, a black man was killed by the police, and I decided to revamp and to do my first video on that case. As most cases that involve police shootings, there has not been much done in the way of getting justice for this man. The story has gone pretty national, so many of you may have heard of it, but I aim today to get more exposure for Andrew Brown and his family in order to maybe push Pasquotank County to essentially do what's right, to release the footage from the body cams, from the police vehicles, whatever footage that they have of the incident, and to also arrest and prosecute his killers. Andrew Brown Jr. was born March 13, 1979. Though his life wasn't the easiest, he is remembered for his smile and trademark dimples. He is said to have been a great storyteller as well as comedian. At around the age of 13, his mother was killed while in Florida, and he was raised by his family from that point on. Several years later, when he was in the 10th grade, he dropped out of high school. His father passed away several years ago while incarcerated after a medical procedure. Andrew is also the father of 7 children biologically and 3 others that he helped to raise. I don't have much information about his early life and childhood, but those closest to him said that he was a happy person. He always made people laugh, put smiles on people's faces. He was never known to be violent or carry any weapons of any type, guns or otherwise. Everyone that spoke about Andrew Brown had nothing but positive things to say about him. On Wednesday, April 21st, 2021, a little over a month after Andrew's 42nd birthday, as he was leaving his house, the Pasquotank County Sheriff's Department pulled up and blocked him in. Now, after this point, what happens varies greatly between what the authorities say occurred and what the family and lawyers of Andrew Brown say occurred after receiving a very small portion of the dash cam video. But what we do know for certain is on that morning, Andrew Brown Jr. was killed. A North Carolina Superior Court judge last week ordered that the body camera footage be withheld from the public for at least 45 days. He wanted the footage to be withheld so that the North Carolina Bureau of Investigation had time to properly and fully investigate the shooting. Though he did say that the footage could be released to the family within 10 days after much redaction. Basically, he wanted all of the officers' faces to be blurred out. He wanted badges, things of that nature. Anything that would make an officer identifiable, he wanted it to be blurred or removed. The footage that the family was finally given to view was only 20 seconds. Authorities stated that this wasn't an issue because the entire incident, the entire killing of Andrew Brown Jr. only took 30 seconds.
We were able to sit down and talk with Sheriff Wooten one-on-one this morning. He wasn't able to answer a lot of our questions, but he was able to shed light on one big question that a lot of us have had over the past few days. As we reported Monday, a 20-second heavily redacted body camera video was released to Brown's family. They wanted the whole video. So why was just that small portion given to them? Well, we asked Sheriff Wooten this morning. Here's a clip from our interview as he explains. Whose decision was it for the 20 seconds to be shown, of just a 20-second clip of the video?
That part of that particular video, it was a video of the incident in its entirety. That's what that clip was. There wasn't, it wasn't cut, you know.
It appeared to be cut from what the family looked. So you're saying
Yeah.
that was an uncut video?
No, we showed a video of what we could get in the time frames. What I meant to say, I'm sorry, not in the time frame that we had to put it out. We were really pushed to get it out, and you know, it was.
So why not just release the whole
15
video?
or 16 hours just to get that 20-second, and like a 30-second video is what it was.
So why not just release the whole one then?
We wanted to make sure to give the family what they wanted to see immediately, and in order to do that, we push that out as fast as we can. And at the same time we push that out, you know, I just remind the community that we also pushed a petition and filed that so that we can have the entire video to the community. So we're trying really hard to.
Would there have been any hindrance to not releasing the entire thing then immediately?
It would have been
to the family.
I believe that the family and the attorneys would have been very upset because it would have took us the rest of that day into the next morning.
Why would it take so long?
Software. We don't have artificial intelligence here.
You can't just go back and press play?
No, not with that, because you have to load the video. It has to be given out. It has to be, by North Carolina law, you have to do some redacting or blurring of the faces. And when you do that, it's 60 frames per second. And each frame has to be gone through. And we have one IT guy for this small agency. So that's it takes a long time.
A private autopsy done by the family showed that Mr. Brown was shot 5 times, with the fatal shot being to the back of his head. Authorities said Brown was trying to drive away and struck deputies with his car, prompting them to shoot. Though relatives who viewed the body cam dispute that account, saying the footage showed that officers ran up to his vehicle shooting, and he never took his hands from the steering wheel.
Attorneys for Andrew Brown's family summed up the snippet of footage they watched in 7 words.
One body cam. 20 seconds. In execution.
The legal team viewed the clip with family multiple times. Attorney Chantel Lassiter says the footage showed Brown sitting in his car in his driveway, a sheriff truck blocking him in.
He had his hands firmly on the steering wheel. They run up to his vehicle shooting. He backs out, goes around them, and they're still shooting at him while he's driving off.
The attorneys say from the moment the clip started, they could hear shots being fired.
They're shooting and saying, "Let me see your hands," at the same time.
And he's complying. His hand is on the steering wheels. Even though he's complying, they still shooting at him.
Lassiter says they did not see Brown threaten law enforcement at any time during the 20-second clip. Brown's son briefly spoke afterward.
It's just messed up how this happened. It ain't right. It ain't right at all.
The FBI has since opened a civil rights investigation into the shooting, and several public figures, including Roland Martin and Al Sharpton, who gave the eulogy at Andrew Brown's funeral, have also called for justice. The people and citizens of Elizabeth City have been marching every single day. These are by far the most peaceful protests in all of the country. There have been no looting, no destruction, nothing but people protesting and demanding justice for one of their own. And at every step there has been pushback. I myself went out Sunday, the day before Andrew Brown's funeral, and protested along with the citizens of Elizabeth City. As I stated, this is my hometown, so I'm very, very, very emotionally vested in this case. I have felt strongly for every black man, black woman, every black person that has been killed by the police. But as you can imagine, this hits way harder because it is home. I mean, he was killed less than a mile from my grandparents' house, blocks from my great-grandmother's house, in the area where I grew up, an area where I frequented a lot as a child, as a young adult, when I was living in Elizabeth City. And to go, you know what I'm saying, to see the shooting on the TV and to know exactly where that is, to be able to know that I've been there many, many, many times before, it was just very disheartening. And as most of us, I expected the pushback from the police. I expected the cover-up. I expected the corruption, but it hurt so much more coming from my hometown. I'm just going to be honest. Because though it was expected, I felt like they were better than that. I don't know. Like when you have hope, like you hope against hope. Like I knew it wasn't going to be a cut and dry, hey, they killed him, we're going to arrest him type thing. I knew it was going to be, a big thing, but I just hope that my hometown, that the place that I grew up, would be better than that, and they aren't. I have 2 young sons, 2 black boys that will soon be black men, and I am fighting this fight for them.
Say his name. Andrew Brown. 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 Say his name. Andrew Brown.
I say justice, justice! We want freedom, freedom! All these racist ass police! We don't need them, need them! All these racist ass police! We don't need them, need them! All these crooked ass police! We don't need them, need them!
And that's pretty much where we are so far. Not very far. We are still demanding they release the footage, the entire video, without any redactions, from the moment they drive up until everything has ended, so we can see clearly what happened without any discrepancies or confusion. The sheriff has released the names of the officers involved. He stated that 3 of the officers discharged their weapons while the other 4 did not, and those 4 will be returning to duty. When, I'm not sure. They may already be back on the streets working. We have no idea. We are still in this fight for justice. As I said, the citizens of Elizabeth City are daily protesting, every single day. I get on Facebook every day and I see them protesting in the morning, in the evening, until the curfew that the mayor has put in place. They are out there protesting. A lot of people have been arrested. Some people have been arrested multiple times, and they are not going to stop. Whenever I can get back down to Elizabeth City, I will be hand in hand, arm in arm with them, marching as well. Hopefully this weekend, I'll be able to get back down there and I can march some more and help to fight for justice for Andrew Brown. We demand the releasing of the footage. We demand justice for Andrew Brown. I will be updating this case and video periodically as more information comes out. Hopefully we will get the video soon. Hopefully the FBI will come up with some things soon, and we will be making ground and making way towards arresting and convicting these officers for the murder of Andrew Brown Jr. I hope you join me again next week as we get into another episode of Drawing Conclusions. Hit the like button, hit the share button, and subscribe. See you soon.
Say his name. Andrew Brown. Say his name. Andrew Brown.